Hi, good morning, everybody. I thought we'd go ahead and get started. It's 10 o'clock, and thank you so much for joining us here this morning. I know it's Monday and it's 10 a.m. This could be pretty early for some of you, but thanks for your interest in the Greece Study Abroad program. So what I thought I'd do is I'd start by introducing myself, turning it over to Lori Taylor so she can introduce herself, and then Margaret, and then we'll turn it over to Paula, who is the representative from AIFS, and they are the organization, she's part of the organization that is putting or has put together our Greece Study Abroad trip. So anyways, I'm Tiffany Sarkeesian. I am the comm instructor for this study abroad trip. I teach at Fresno City College. I used to teach at Clovis Community College, and that's where Lori Taylor and I met and originally wrote this proposal a couple years ago. So we are super excited about the possibility of getting to go to Greece this summer. And I know that it looks like the majority of you in here have not been to another of our meetings before. So we'll get into some very specific details about the program. But having said that, I am going to hand it over to Lori Taylor. And I know that she's been battling a sore throat. So Lori, I don't know if you want me to introduce you or if you want to speak for yourself.
No, I can do it. I'm sorry, y'all. I have a cold. My throat's fine. I just sound really stuffed up. So I apologize. Can you guys hear me? Okay, cool. And my internet is being wonky, so I'm going to keep my camera off. So it's a great morning for me, basically. But so I'm Lori Taylor. I am the anthropology professor at Clovis Community College, and I will be teaching Intro to Archaeology and World Prehistory in Greece. And I'm super excited that so many new people are in here, and I'm glad you guys get to hear about the program because I think it's gonna be really, really cool.
Thanks, Lori. Okay, so Margaret, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. I'm Margaret Hebert. I'm the District Coordinator of International Education, and I support all 4 colleges and their faculty on their study abroad programs. But I'm also the one who sends you stuff about Fulbrights for students or the Frederick Douglass Scholarship or all kinds of stuff. I'm the one who sends you all the international stuff. And I'm here to support faculty and to hear from Paula and just to be a resource for all of you. I'm excited you're going to Greece or thinking about it. Study abroad is a really wonderful part of your education, and you'll learn a lot about yourself and, of course, Greek culture, and the classes will be wonderful as well.
Thank you, Margaret. So I'm going to turn it over to Paula. And like I said, Paula is our AIFS representative who is going to be sharing some information about the Greece Study Abroad program. And I believe, Paula, you have a PowerPoint, right?
I do. So I wasn't told exactly how much information you wanted me to. I was told just what is going to happen when they're in Greece. So that's what I have.
Paula, can I just clarify?
Yes, please, Margaret.
I don't think I made this clear, but so we take your applications and we build the program, and your faculty plan the program, but AIFS is the company in Greece that takes care of you on the ground. That's why we invited Paula to present today, and you'll have a separate application with them. And just wasn't sure how new these students were and if they understood what we were doing today. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
No, don't be silly. So I got this last minute on Friday. I should have, it could be a little more developed, but I do have all the information, and I assume your faculty and Margaret can provide more about the dates and student fees and things like that for sure. Before we go through what's going to happen when you get to Greece, I just did want to mention briefly about about myself, I came to study abroad just like you all as a student. I went to a very small college, very close to home. Even though I lived in the student residence, I was home as soon as class was over on Thursday, very much a, a mama's girl. But when I was ready for study abroad, I was ready and I was gone. And I studied abroad in Spain, and it was an amazing experience for me. It really gave me the confidence that I could exist away from my family, outside of my comfort zone. It gave me a lot of confidence in myself and my own decisions, and really sparked a curiosity about other cultures. I learned how to travel, which was an amazing skill. I learned how to navigate new cities, how not to be afraid to ask strangers questions as far as how do you get to such and such a place, having to communicate in a foreign language, and maybe even speak with my hands a little because I was not fluent in any way. So it was an amazing experience. And students really do tell us that study abroad experience is the most transformative experience of their life. So your program to Athens, Greece is going to happen this summer in May. So your departure date is May 22nd, arrival in Athens on May 23rd, and then you will be there for about 2 weeks, and the end of the program will be June 10th. I am going to change this. There we go. So just to give you a little more information about AIFS itself, we are a study abroad organization that has been doing study abroad a long time, over 55 years. And we have sent over 1.5 million students abroad. And what we really want you to know is that AIFS has been working with your district. They have been working with your faculty to set up a program that is educational, that is a safe program, that a program that will really, it's more than just travel. It is an opportunity to really immerse yourself in the life and culture of this foreign country. And we also want you to know that we will be there the entire time to make sure that you and your faculty are supported. So we start prior to departure. We'll have a pre-departure orientation. About a month prior to departure, we will meet either on campus or Zoom, and we will get you ready for your program. Well, at that point, we'll be talking about banking abroad, right? How do I get money out in euros? We'll talk about communications abroad. Can I use my cell phone when I'm abroad? And then the final itinerary and the ins and outs of what you need to do to prepare. Once you get to Athens, you'll meet your AIFS program coordinator, who'll be with you for the duration of the program, and they will give you your on-site orientation. Sometimes it's just reinforcing what we talked about prior to departure, but it really will be the ins and outs of the program and of the city and how to do things when you are in Athens. Also know that we will be there 24/7 in case of emergency. If real life happens, my debit card won't work and it's 10 o'clock at night, what do I do? I need some help. You can call the emergency phone. If you're not feeling well, you can call the emergency phone and someone will be there to help you through the situation. And then also included in your program fee is comprehensive medical insurance. So we do want to emphasize that you will be covered for any illness and medical care that you need while you are abroad, and even during your program, and then 30 days post program. So if you decide you want to travel a little bit on your own after your program, you'll also be covered by the medical insurance, and that's important. I'm not watching the chat, so maybe Dr. T, if you'd like to read a question out to me, or
Yeah, I just asked them. This is Margaret. I just asked them to put their name and email in the chat.
Oh, okay. Just feel free to interrupt if anybody has a question or
okay.
anything. This is your housing when you are in Athens. So you'll be in the Atalos Hotel in the very center of Athens. So it is really centrally located. You'll be able to get to the old town or the historic cultural district of Athens, as well as the more modern parts. A daily breakfast is included, and you can see on the left-hand side, that beautiful photo is the outside terrace. You'll be able to eat breakfast out in the open air with that gorgeous view. Definitely a 24-hour reception. Wi-Fi is available at the hotel. It is very close to the metro station, and so you'll be able to use public transportation quite easily while you're there. And then air conditioning as well, which is important in Greece. We know that Europe is central air is not always provided, but you'll have air conditioning in the hotel. So that's a nice perk. And there you have on the right is sort of the facade or the front entrance of the hotel. And then you'll have class while you're there. Remember, this is an academic program. So you'll be located at the Metropolitan College Athens City Center campus. You'll get your student ID card. You'll have access or use of a classroom while you're there. Wi-Fi also included, library and study area there, cafe and a small gym. There's printing and scanning services, as well as on-site staff and reception. So this is a lovely campus, and it is also very centrally located in Athens. You will also included in the program is a travel pass. So you'll be able to use the underground metro buses and trams in Athens for the duration of the program, unlimited use. So you'll be able to get to class and back. You'll be able to use it when you go out on your cultural activities and your academic field trips. That's probably what you'll use to get to those activities. And then you'll have lots of free time to be able to explore on your own, and you can use your travel pass to get around. The only one thing that it does exclude is the airport. So you have to pay a little extra, but it is an inexpensive way to get to and from the airport as well. Right. Also included is your ICOMOS, I believe it's called, card. Forgive me if I pronounced that wrong, but that is a membership card that will allow you free entry to the archaeological sites on your itinerary. So this is a great thing because it will allow you into the museum sites that are part of your coursework, right? You will be going with probably local guides and your faculty to visit all of these amazing archaeological sites. But then there are additional ones that you can visit on your own time, on your free time. And this card will allow you either free entry or a significant discount. So that you'll be given on your first day in Athens. And then these are some of the sites, and please, faculty, jump in if you want to talk about the things you'll be seeing and doing when you are visiting. But of course, you'll have to visit the Acropolis. Of course, you'll spend a good chunk of time visiting this wonder of the world. I know it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, so belongs to the world. You'll also be enjoying a cooking class. One of the healthiest diets in the world is the Mediterranean diet, based on fish, olive oil, and legumes, which are things like garbanzos, lentils. You will learn some of the most amazing dishes that are part of Greek cuisine, and the desserts on the left, the baklava, made with local honey, right? Which is world famous. And this is Naflilon. It is a full day excursion. You will be visiting this town and also visited the Corinthian, I think I spelled that wrong, sorry, that's a typo, Corinthian Canal, the Theater of Epidaurus, the Mycenae, and the Tomb of Aphamenon. And then you will do a day trip to the 3 islands, the Sardonic Islands. So you'll visit Hydra, Poros, and Aegina. You'll ferry from one island to the other, and lunch will be included on that day. And if I remember right, I can't remember which one this was. Forgive me. I think this is Aegina, if I remember right. All right, so those are your cultural activities. I'm not sure if any more. It was just a short presentation, but.
Folks, are there any questions that you might have for Paula? And you can either raise your hand or just unmute yourself.
Yeah.
So I don't know if can somebody explain what the day would look like, what our schedule would look like?
Perfect. Yeah, so during the week, we will have morning classes in the university. And then for the most part, either we'll have the excursions in the afternoon and or free time if there isn't an excursion planned for that respective afternoon. And Paula, if I'm not presenting that accurately, will you?
No,
correct
that's
me?
absolutely right.
Okay, because
Absolutely
I don't have an
Let
updated PDF of our
me see if I
of the
can pull one up real quick.
yeah, I couldn't find it. I've looked in all of my files and all the emails, and I don't have that the 2022 updated itinerary.
So something like 5 mornings a week we're in class?
Yes, ma'am, for the most part. And then
Okay.
weekends are entirely free. However, the 3 island day trip, I believe, is on a Saturday, and it is that Saturday. It's that weekend that comes in the middle of our 3 weeks in Athens.
Okay. And how many hours a day would we be in class?
I think we're out by noon.
Okay.
So keep in mind that the courses it's Com 3 and Anthropology 3. They're each 3-unit courses, and depending on, if you're taking one or both, these are, still 3-unit courses, and it's still like a traditional summer class. Like we still have to meet the requirements of the time that students are spending on their studies.
Okay.
Go ahead, Lori, were you able to find it?
No, I'm looking through my email right now. I have a bunch of them, but I know I have it somewhere. So give me a second, and I will find it.
While Lori's looking for that, does anybody else have any other questions?
Yeah, I was wondering, is there a limited number of spots for this program?
So we were trying to keep it at 20, and I can tell you right now that we have 17 applications that have come through State Center. However, there have only been, as of last week, 6 students who have put their $450 deposit down, and a total of 11 applications that were started with AIFS. I think now 12 applications with AIFS. So here's what the steps look like. First, you would submit an application to State Center Community College District. And after this meeting is over, what I'll most likely do is send an email out to all of you folks with a whole bunch of attachments. The State Center application, the link to the AIFS application, along with directions and some other useful information. And so once you would do the State Center application, and of course you can be doing a lot of these things at the same time, but they're all things that need to be done. But you need to make sure you have your passport. Passports are taking anywhere from, I heard the shortest amount of time was 4 weeks. I have never experienced getting a passport in 4 weeks, but somebody did. My passport renewal took 18 weeks. So, I mean, you want to be working on getting your passport right now. signing up at AIFS, our final, like for deposits to be made, I believe is March 1st. And Margaret, correct me if I'm wrong, but
Our board meeting is March 1st, so
oh, sorry.
AIFS approved moving our application and deposit deadline from February 25th back to March 2nd to give students another week and to make sure that we, have approval from the board. The only thing that would mean that we can't do this trip is if the pandemic situation got really worse and then Greece shut down as it did, as a lot of countries did in 2020. So we asked for that 1 week extension so that we could confirm with our board that all is well. And as things are improving with this latest variant, and fingers crossed, there's no new variant, I'm very hopeful that we will go this year. But you would do your AIFS application, and I put the link in the chat. I put steps too. So I said, number 1, your district application, which your faculty can give you. 2, get your passport, because it is taking a long time. 3, sign up at AIFS and put your deposit down by March 2nd to hold your place. And then 4, talk to your financial aid advisor to see if there are more scholarships or funding sources. But I did want to ask Paula, is there a limit, and does it depend on how many rooms the Atlas Hotel has?
Yeah, generally the limit, the school would decide as far as how many students they could accommodate in each class. And then hotel availability is also an issue. Which is why we need the March 2nd deadline. So we have plenty of time before departure to make sure that we have.
Thank you, that makes sense. The in our district, your faculty have course caps. What are they, 25, 31? Tiffany and Lori, somewhere around that. But
that would be lovely. Mine are much higher, but yeah.
Oh, silly me. Okay.
Yeah.
I come from the writing classes and they were smaller. But at some point, we won't have classrooms big enough at the hotel, meeting rooms, or we won't have enough hotel rooms. So in study abroad, it's different. We can't use our regular class cap. We have to use what the program can actually support so that you all get the safety and attention that you need. So we don't really have a cap unless we run out of beds or run out of class space. So
I know that Tiffany and I are concerned because we're going to be going to a lot of things, right? Museum sites, transportation, trying to wrangle 35 people onto various buses, boats, trains is not our idea of fun. We want to be able to, have a manageable group so that we're all together. It's just, we get the kind of immersive experience that we want as opposed to, a large tour group sort of a situation. So yeah, that's why, we have been using that. We've been sort of envisioning 20 as a good number, obviously. Whatever that looks like, if we get more, we'll look at it then, but 20 would be great. That's a good goal to set, at least, I think.
Somebody asked about the price, and Dr. Sarkeesian said, yes, it is $3,200, but it doesn't include airfare and other costs. So with tuition and the flight and meals that aren't covered in the program, and then however much you shop, we always tell students somewhere between $4,500 to $5,000. But if we get the numbers change if we get more students. So if we get and it's in the contract, I need to look it up. If we get 25 to 30, then it'll be $200 less per person. It just depends on how many students we get. But so for right now, if we get at least 12 students, it's $3,200 without the flight and tuition. And then the additional insurance we are requiring is CFAR insurance. Valentina says, if we make the deposit and the trip is canceled for some reason, would we get a refund? Yes, but this happens in various ways. That's why we use our March 2nd deadline to look at the world And if the pandemic looks better, if the if travel looks open and we feel pretty safe to say this is a go, then we'll say yes. But that leaves 2.5 months before you leave. And let's say there's a new variant and Greece shuts down, then AIFS will refund recoverable costs. The money that they can get back, they will give back to the students. But let's say the program's a go and none of those bad things happen and everybody else goes, but suddenly you can't go. This is why we are requiring CFAR insurance, cancel for any reason. So that if you get sick and you can't go suddenly, or if you get a new job, or you have to move, or you fall in love and just can't stand the idea of being 3 weeks without this new person, anything could happen, right? So we require that so that you can get with this insurance, you get like 75 to 85% of your money back. And I'll put that in the chat. Oh, thank you, Debbie. Debbie Cardoza is our program assistant. She's awesome. She already put this in this chat. CFAR stands for cancel for any reason. There is a company that we tend to use, iNext Insurance. If you have a different company, and I put that in the chat, you can do that. But also AIFS as part of their insurance. So health, Paula, this is right. Health and travel insurance while you're there is part of the program fees.
Correct.
But your company also offers CFAR insurance.
Yes. CC, Cultural Insurance Services International, also offers CFAR, CFAR, IFAR, interrupt for any reason. And the interesting thing about CFAR, IFAR is that if COVID happens and the program is canceled, then the refund is greater. If you cancel for whatever your reason, then it is less of a refund. It's that 70 to 80%.
Yes. So this way you're covered. If the program's going and there's no big pandemic problem, then you still get a lot of your money back. That's why we started requiring it this year.
Yes.
Tiff, I can't find the new itinerary, but I have the one from last year, which is essentially the same. It's just the dates are a little different. Do you want me to share that?
I think that would be great, especially since we had the question. And then Margaret, or Debbie, when you have the opportunity, could we get the updated itinerary?
Yes, would you prefer I load that now?
That would be great.
That would be great. Yeah, actually, do you have it? You can probably can you share your screen, Margaret?
Yeah,
I'll stop sharing.
Let me load it and then you all keep chatting.
Okay, thank you so much. Does anybody have any other just sort of technical questions about stuff?
I do. Is this a shared room situation or do we get our own rooms?
It is a shared room situation, and Paula, correct me if I'm wrong, is there an option to pay a little more for a single room?
Yes, generally there is, and I'm going to double check right now.
And a little more information on our schedule. So it's the morning is in classes that 3 hours.
I'm sorry, Pamela. That's what Margaret is about to put up. We're going to go over the itinerary with you in just a second, but I'll tell you right now, we don't have exact hours. Sort of the idea is we want to be more active than passive, right? So are you concerned about free time?
No, I guess so. I'm curious, how many hours will be in class, and then about how much we need to plan for homework time.
Yeah, so I understand. And as we go forward, we'll give you guys more information, but I can say that Tiffany and I both want to give you guys the opportunity to do a lot of the work online, pre-departure if you want, so our vision is that we spend a lot more time, out in Greece, seeing things, sort of an immersive education than in the classroom. And you will for sure have your later afternoons, evenings, and some days of the week, like Sundays in particular, for free.
So here's the latest itinerary. Yes, the idea with study abroad is it is still study abroad. It's not tourism. You are required to meet the requirements of the course to pass the course, right? But we also do want you to experience the culture so that you're not spending 4 hours a day looking for a computer lab so you can type a 10-page paper. You know, we don't want that to be where you are while you're in study abroad. So the faculty will have the class start a week before and a week after, something like that. We haven't created those class dates yet because the dean needs to create them and then kind of hide them suppress them so that they're only for the students traveling, so that the general population doesn't try to take that class, because that class is just for you, the ones who are traveling. So you're still in a class, you're still meeting the same number of hours, you're still doing the work to pass the class, but you're also doing all these wonderful things that will enhance what you're learning in the class.
Margaret, can I just piggyback before we move on to the itinerary about the classes? Because somebody asked me a direct message question, and their question was, do we have to take both classes? Can we just take the comm class? And here's the deal. You only have to take one of the classes. You can take both. Also keep in mind that Lori Taylor and I are actually working together closely to create curriculum that is intertwined, because we don't want students to be spending so much time, like if they are taking both classes, because there are some people who have signed up who are taking both classes. We don't want them to have like this tremendous amount of homework. So this is a very unique design for these two specific classes and this specific trip. So one, you can sign up for both classes, or you can sign up for the comm class or the anthropology class. I just wanted to clarify that, since that was a private message question.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that the primary difference in which classes you are taking will be the work you do on your own that we have, for you in Canvas. Because our vision is that most of the instruction is together, because we're all going to be together going to the sites, museums, and there's such good overlap with both of these subjects that we think we can do something pretty cool.
Yeah, that's why most students, or some students, end up taking both classes, because they figure, well, if I'm going, spending all this money, I'd rather get 6 units than 3. But other students really just want the experience and just take one class. It's totally up to you. Some students may have already taken the one, and so they can't retake it, so they just take one class. If you've already taken both classes, there might be a situation where your instructors can create an independent study so you can still go. But because it is study abroad, you do need to be enrolled in something to go. So here, can you all see my screen, the itinerary?
Yes.
So
Could you make it a little bit larger, perhaps?
So not sure how.
Well, that's okay. Okay, so I don't know if what you all can see here, but you see that we fly out, and again, we can talk more about the airfare and the flying in a little while, but arrive in Athens on Monday. AIFS has organized a little walking tour. So the first day in country is sort of get adjusted and get oriented, and then on Tuesday we orient to our classroom space at the college, and just get basically a program overview and a little reception. On that Wednesday of that week, we start classes, and you'll notice that like most of this doesn't have any sort of times in it, but generally the schedule is a little bit of orientation and classroom time in the mornings, and in the afternoons we visit all of the museums and sites in and around Athens. You'll see on that Friday of that week, we just meet in the morning in class, and then we have the day free after that. Saturday, that first Saturday in country, is our 3-day boat. Or, sorry, I keep saying 3-day. It's 3 islands. I think I'm just wishfully thinking. It's 3 islands in 1 day and lunch. So any of the meals you see listed here, those are covered for you. And Paula, if I'm correct, that their breakfast is included at the hotel for them. Yeah.
Yes,
So-
buffet breakfast, which is lovely.
That is really lovely. And a Greek buffet breakfast is similar to German buffet breakfast, and it's delicious. So yes, so then Sunday is free. On Monday we have the, again, class and archaeological museum. Same for Tuesday. The Wednesday of the following week we'll have a little bit of morning instruction time, and then a group cooking class, which I'm so looking forward to. I just love that you guys thought to add that for us. Yeah, so you'll see Pamela and the rest of you who are maybe concerned. You have free time, even some afternoons, and the Sundays are free. And then finally, the last week, again, similar schedule. And there's another, I missed it, but there's another little day trip out to Corinth, out on the Peloponnese to a couple of sites out there. And then we have our goodbye dinner on Thursday evening. So in terms of food, I think somebody just said, yes. So Esperanza, anything that's not listed on here, besides the breakfast at your hotel, you're responsible for, but Greece is super affordable. There's so much, available street food wise, and just really, breakfast is included, as Sophie said. So if you want to save money, you can save money on food for sure. I mean, I think Greece is like one of those places where you can eat very, very well for not much. Or you can do what Margaret did and just eat bread and peanut butter for weeks at a time. That story always cracks me up, Margaret. Can you look at a peanut butter and jelly sandwich now, or are you just done with it?
It took a while, but yeah, I like them. I was telling students last week that I would buy a loaf of sliced bread and every other slice slather with peanut butter and jelly, and then stuff that loaf of bread in my backpack. But I saw 9 countries that semester and I ate very cheaply. But you don't have to do that. And you're there, because I was there a whole semester, it was much more expensive. You're there for 3 weeks, but some students eat very cheaply. They buy food to keep in their hotel, and they make sandwiches, and other students eat out a lot more, shop a lot more. So people are very different. You can do this fairly cheaply or, differently. I did want to say that I can't help reminding you, March 1st is the deadline to apply for the Benjamin Gilman Scholarship, which is a wonderful scholarship. If you qualify for the Pell Grant, you are eligible. And they say they fund about 1/3 to half their applicants, but I've been on I've done their reading panels 4 times, and they funded more like 3/4. It was awesome. So I'm not promising you money because it is competitive. You need to write 3 different essays and they need to be written very well. So that's start it now. Save time to take your essays to the writing tutors on your campus. Get as much help as you can with people reading your essay and helping you get feedback. And do your best job. We always have students. If the deadline is March 1st, we have students the last 2 days of February trying to pull something together. Don't do that. It'll be very stressful and you might not get any kind of funding. But the Gilman Scholarship is through the State Department. It's an awesome scholarship. You can get anywhere from, $500 to $5,000 for your program. We do have somebody going on this program who did apply and got $4,500, a student from Clovis. They have 2 application periods, one in the fall, which is usually the first week of October. I always host and did host again a Gilman application workshop in September. I push the one in fall because then students know what money they're getting by December. I still think you should apply in the spring application period, but because you apply March 1st, you won't know if you get any money until middle of May, and you're leaving at the end of May. What that means is you would have to pay for the program on your own somehow, and then just get a nice surprise in May when you get some scholarship money. So definitely still apply, but because of the timing, if you miss the fall deadline and you have to use the spring application deadline, you you just won't hear if you got your money, if you got any scholarship until May. I'm going to stop sharing, but this itinerary and all this information is at the AIFS application portal. So as soon as you apply there, you'll see all the dates, the insurance questions. The only thing that's different is they had an option for a group flight that AIFS would buy for us, but because they extended the deadline for us, AIFS is not going to be buying the group flight. We will find a group flight and one of your instructors will fly with you if you prefer not to fly alone. Some of our students are big travelers, super confident. They buy their own flight. They don't care if it stops 6 times and they have to sit down in the hull with the animals in the crates. They just want to get the cheapest flight they can. That's fine. Do your own thing. We won't do that. We'll create a group flight that's the best price with the fewest number of stops. If we fly out of Fresno, it does tend to add anywhere from $300 to $600, which will make it more expensive. But you might decide as a group, when we get down to the definite group who's going, the group might decide, yeah, but I don't want to drive to San Francisco or LA or Sacramento. So let's just pay the higher price and fly out of Fresno. So we will help you find a group flight that one of your instructors will go on and all of you can buy. So that's the only thing that you'll see on the AIF website that has changed now, is we're not doing our group flight with them because they very generously extended the deadline another week for us for that payment. Looks like you're answering all the questions with the food. Oh, the Gilman Scholarship. Yes. Yes. I will add that to the chat. Or Debbie, can you add that to the chat? Yeah, Debbie's. The thing is, look for more. So many scholarships never get funded because students don't know they qualified and students didn't apply. Didn't the communications scholarship not get funded last year because no one applied?
Yeah, well, it didn't get funded because the one student who did apply decided not to attend college any longer. So then here was just this money sitting in the communication scholarship fund.
Yeah, and if you're in humanities at FCC, they have a scholarship. So look at your majors, look at your, talk to your financial aid advisor on your campus. Oh, thank you. Debbie added the website to our study abroad program that has the link to the Gilman Scholarship. But apply for others. And I also tell students, go to your local Rotary clubs, go to your, our students go to their churches, their banks. I know that EECU had a scholarship for $2,000 for students, but I believe that deadline's already passed. Go to your chambers of commerce, go to your local community organizations that support students. We did have 3 students in our Costa Rica program in 2019 who paid for their entire programs with Jamba Juice cards. They sold Jamba Juice cards. Now it's post-pandemic now, or whatever, mid-pandemic. So I don't know how easy that kind of thing would be, but they hustled and sold a lot of Jamba Juice cards. A lot of our students create GoFundMe pages where you tell your story, you make a video, you explain why you need the funding, why study abroad is so important to you, what it will mean for you academically and professionally. So a lot of our students raise money that way. I think there's already one student in this program who has a GoFundMe page. And so your friends and family, instead of doing like holiday or birthday gifts, will put money in your GoFundMe page for study abroad. But you'd be surprised if you tell a good story, strangers will kick you $5 or $10, $20, and you end up getting a lot of your trip funded that way. So there are lots of options. It seems like when our students first hear the price, a lot of them stop listening. But that's just because they're not aware of what's out there. There's a lot more money out there, and you just have to look for it. So please talk to your financial aid advisors and see what scholarships you can apply for. Belen says, so when we apply on AIFS, we select no to them for booking the flight. That's right. Oh, Lori already answered, yes.
Are there any other questions, folks? So like I stated earlier, after this meeting, sometime today, tomorrow, I will send out an email for those of you who put your email addresses in the chat. And I'll include the State Center application, link to AIFS, link to Passport, link to Gilman Scholarship. So I'll provide all those links in one area and a whole bunch of attachments. Like Margaret said, you can go to State Center's website, and also Debbie has, put links in the chat as well. So if you click on those links now, you can also bookmark them in your browser if you're not on a phone. I know it's a little bit more difficult if you're on your cell phone. But you can expect to see that from us in about 24 to 48 hours. Any questions about that or about next steps?
Excuse me.
Okay. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you, Paula, for taking time out of your day and sharing all this good information with us.
My pleasure.
And Margaret and Debbie, thanks for being present and helping answer questions and facilitating all of this. We've been asking a lot from them lately to attend all of our meetings. So we have all of the answers for all of you folks. And for the rest of you, we really look forward to seeing you in Greece, and probably a couple times before that if you're going to join us. And having said that, you can look forward to our email, and we will, I don't know.
Yes, thanks, you guys. I'm so happy all of you came. Thank you so much, Paula and Margaret and Debbie, for all of your support and help. And yeah, look out for the email, y'all. We'll send it to you soon.
I'm excited for you students. I hope you get to go. Please don't hesitate to ask us questions if you have any questions that don't get answered by these emails and links. Thank you so much. Thanks, Paula.
Bye, folks.
Bye.